Another topic here, because even if you're not detoxing today, people on Twitter are asking, what's the one thing you just can't live without for one day? Thousands of people weighing in using the hashtag can't go a day without. A lot of people are saying their smartphones, their computers, but there are other more personal things, like not being able to go a day without talking to their parents or praying, even not being able to go a day without looking in the mirror. ABC 15 Now wants to know, what about you? What's the one thing you just cannot live without, even for one day? Vince, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you have something you couldn't go a day without?
I read the comment, and the only thing that really came to mind that's most essential in my life is breathing. That's the one thing that I cannot go without. Everything else, cell phones, iPads, this, whatever, I can really go without them. Although I do notice that when I leave the home, if I'm in the car, the first thing I check for is, do I have my cell phone? So
you walk out the door. I know for me, when I walk out the door, I've got a couple of my cell phone, my keys, my wallet, and my ring. I always take my ring off at home, and I'm always worried I'm going to forget it. I never do, but I'm always worried I am going to forget it. And so those are kind of the essentials. But you're right. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, if I didn't have my cell phone with me for one day, that would actually be really relaxing.
Not at first, because I found that at times when I'm driving to church and I don't have it, I'm a little edgy. But within an hour, you would actually get used to it. And, of course, you were accustomed to it, what, a decade ago, when cell phones weren't so much in the market as they are now. Well, and so we did get along without them.
You know what's interesting about that? My wife and I were having this conversation. If you think about the generation that's growing up now, my son's 3.5. He doesn't know a world without cell phones, portable computers, tablet computers. You know, he just doesn't know it. And I mean, it's going to be interesting to see when they grow up and, you know, they're 20 years old and how they look at the world differently than even I do, because, you know, when I was growing up, there were no cell phones.
No, but you grew up in the television world and you're very comfortable with it. They will grow up in a world with much more technology, and I know with my two children, they're very comfortable with all the technology.
It's always something else.
Yeah, and it's going to be.
Yeah, it's always something new.
Going to be.
Well, I can't wait to see what's next. So we asked you online, what could you not live without? Herman Brocato on Facebook writes, my cell phone. Joy Atori says the internet. Regina Greco writes, my grandkids. And Angelina Roybal via Twitter says, chapstick. I'm like a borderline addict. Thanks. And Kayla via Twitter says, laughing till I can't breathe. I like that one. She couldn't live without a little laughter in her life. The internet is pretty amazing. That answer right there. I mean, think about how often, I don't know about you, but I Google everything now. It's such just a crutch for me.
Yes, and it's a wonderful tool. About a year ago, I typed my name in. I thought, well, you know, just to see, I was a little bit uncomfortable with the amount of knowledge that Google had about my life.
It's good to Google yourself once in a while to make sure you know what's out there.
Yeah.
We're going to roll on now.